Thank you and welcome to Lavelle Edwards Stadium, a Friday night in Provo, and for just the second time ever, an SEC team headed to BYU. Mississippi State and BYU to get your weekend started. Welcome everybody. Tom Hart alongside Heisman winner and College Football Hall of Famer Andre Ware. We get a chance tonight to showcase perhaps the best running back in college football you've never heard of. He was away from the field for a year and a half, and he's back with a vengeance.
Yeah, he's talented, a guy that I think the fans, they're in for a treat tonight. When I turn on the film and watch Jamal Williams, you see elusiveness, you see speed, you see power, you see breaking down defenders, you see it all with this guy. He's able to run in any type of offense. BYU will rely on him early and often throughout this game.
He has put up some remarkable numbers this season, and second best in the country overall in rush yards, third in yards per game. Only Lamar Jackson has more rushing touchdowns this season than Jamal Williams, and he's only 64 yards away from his very own school career rushing record. They anticipate a record-setting night tonight at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. They are prime and they are pumped, and this BYU team looking for a signature victory. Never before has BYU beaten a Big Ten team and an SEC team in the same season. These Cougars have a chance to do it in consecutive weeks. Last week, they went to East Lansing. They took care of a college football playoff team from a year ago and knocked off Michigan State. Tonight, a team that was #1 in the country 2 years ago comes to town for the second time, and they have a chance for another signature victory. It's homecoming in Provo, and there's a special feeling in the stadium tonight. The BYU Cougars under the lights against an SEC foe. Let's go down to the field where moments ago Cole Kubelik was joined by the Bulldogs head coach Dan Mullen.
Coach Mullen, sort of an odd week here. How did you prepare your team to get ready for this game?
Well, we just changed a little bit of our practice schedule. We had to skip a day, skip to Monday, and for our guys, practice late at night to get ready for this late night kickoff, but our guys had a good week of practice.
You said you need your team to be physical. How long will it take you to know whether or not they're physically prepared tonight?
About one play. You'll know. One play, you'll know. Either you're ready to get after it or you're not.
Thank you, Coach Mullen.
Well, you think Dan Mullen's dialed into this one? He should be. It's a Friday night, and the crowd's already into it, waiting for kick. BYU won the toss. They've elected to defer it, so Mississippi State will receive. First-year head coach Kalani Sitake, 3-3 with 3 losses by a combined 7 points. It seems every game comes down to the wire with this BYU program. He played here under Lavelle Edwards. He knows the history and appreciates this unique situation with BYU football. This is his dream job.
Yeah, I got a chance to visit with him yesterday. Impressive as a head coach, and I think his team reflects his personality. Just cool, calm, and collected.
Lavelle Edwards' grandnephew, Corey Edwards, kicks off, and no chance for a return from Malik Deer. And so we'll see Mississippi State's offense come onto the field. You know Dak Prescott, he's now in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys and having success there. And so his understudy, Nick Fitzgerald, a sophomore from Richmond Hill, Georgia, was an option quarterback in high school.
Yeah, completing about 57% on the season, 7 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, but he's got to have more production through the air. He leads the team in rushing, but the air attack has to come to life at some point tonight for Nick Fitzgerald.
Ashton Shumpert starts at tailback. Their normal starter, Brandon Holloway, out with an ankle injury. He didn't even make the trip to Provo. And a quick hitter on the outside for a first down to Mr. Reliable Fred Ross, who last week was anything but.
Yeah, he dropped passes, dropped punts, and right away, how do you get a receiver involved? Dialed into the game, you go to him early and often, as they did right there to Fred Ross.
So 1st and 5 for Nick Fitzgerald out of the shotgun. Ashton Shumpert fights his way through and is able to pick up 4. And what a great start to this game for Mississippi State's offense.
Yeah, that's a good point. A nice mixture of first down pass to Fred Ross. Then you come back with a couple of runs. Nick Fitzgerald, you have the offsides. It's a nice mix for Mississippi State so far.
You take a shot. They'll keep it on the ground on 2nd and 1. Shumpert will grind it out, and they'll get a fresh set of downs. What a different start last week. Mississippi State got a pick in the first quarter. They had a short field to work with. The very first play, an offensive lineman went the wrong way. The second play, the wide receiver dropped a sure touchdown. And on the third play, Fitzgerald spiked one in the turf. On 4th down, they doinked a chip shot field goal.
Yeah, they would have Now, that's a momentum swing that they never were able to recover from.
Opening drive for the Bulldogs. Blitz coming. Fitzgerald able to run that way, and he's able to use his legs to dance towards the marker. A first down run for Fitzgerald. Micah Hanneman finally brings him down.
Hanneman give up outside leverage on the edge. You see the blitz coming late, and he misses. And now all of a sudden you got a quarterback that is a very capable runner, outside contained and making plays.
Quarterback draw. Fitzgerald doesn't find the blocking he wants, and he's taken down by Adam Pulsiver. Pulsiver is the one that lost contain on the previous play, and here he is making a stop as he gets another start for the injured Boots Powell.
Yeah, Galani Satagi, he talked to us about that they couldn't give up outside leverage to Mississippi State. Nick Fitzgerald in particular, and making up for it. Pulsiver, and a nice tackle to put Mississippi State behind the down and distance markers here.
Play action. Fitzgerald pulls it back, now lets it go, and he fits it in for a first down. They erase all of that yardage on the completion to Donald Gray that goes for 13.
Yeah, nice job here, working to get open. Watch the push, and then continuing to come back for the football. That's the difference in a catch and the ball being batted away. You continue and you have tight coverage, work yourself back to the quarterback and keep your body between the ball and the defender.
This is a vulnerable BYU secondary. Shumpert again. Able to pick up 4.
Andre Malik Deer in the slot. Previous 2 plays uncovered to the far side of the field. That was a guy that Dan Mullen talked to us about, wanting to sort of force feed the football to and maybe produce some big plays.
He's down here right now for him to get the football here early in this ball game.
Shumpert again. Gain of 1. Logan Taele with the stop for BYU.
So many offenses now with that RPO, run pass option. Show it to Shumpert and spin it out to Deer. He is magical in the open field when you get him one-on-one. He played just about everywhere in high school, all over the field.
First third down of the opening series for Mississippi State. Too much trying to find Malik Deer, and that would bring up 4th and 5 from the 25-yard line.
He had him uncovered. The defensive back to that side or linebacker is just way off. I mean, you could just raise up, pretty much give him the football off the snap, and he'd run for the first down. That pass right there by Nick Fitzgerald, those are the gimmies. That's like playing, 7-on-7 when you're in practice. No pressure. You've got to be able to complete those and be 100% when you're doing something.
42-yard attempt for Weston Graves, junior from Flowood, Mississippi.
Not an automatic for him.
Indeed. And for the second straight week, Graves misses one left on Mississippi State's opening possession. It cost them momentum in a big way last week against Auburn.
Yeah, it really did. And hit the upright last week. That's why I said it's not an automatic. I think there's music playing between his ears, and you see Dan Mullen. We're going to need you at some point in this ball game.
Mullen told his guys all week, you got a choice. You can either be tough or not, but you got to be tough tonight. Kicking game off point for Mississippi State. It's a Friday night party in Provo. Their defense able to hold after a 10-play, 50-yard drive. Dan Mullen's team once again a missed opportunity to grab momentum. And if you're on that sideline, it may feel like deja vu all over again for Mississippi State.
Very passionate coach. He doesn't want to see what happened last week against Auburn happen tonight.
So here's Taysom Hill, the senior from Pocatello, Idaho. And the biggest compliment you can give him is that he is all BYU.
He is tough as they come.
He has fought through 3 different season-ending injuries. And on the first play, he goes play action, and he nearly threw it to Richie Brown.
Leading tackler for Mississippi State almost had a gift of an interception. Right away, Mississippi State, they told us, and Mullen told us, hey, we have nothing to lose. We're going to bring some pressure. And they're showing it on the first play of the game. First defensive snap for this Bulldog defense.
Richie Brown coming off of a career-high 14 tackles last week against Auburn.
Come back here and run the football with Jamal Williams.
Second best rusher in college football. And here he is on the left side. Able to bounce it to the outside, and he will fight for a couple more yards. He'll get his forward progress at the 31. Jonathan Calvin credited with the stop after a gain of 6.
Bulldogs showing some toughness that Dan Mullen talked about at the end of that run by Jamal Williams. But you see the last 3 games here, 84 rushes, over 7 yards per carry. Look at the last stat, 9 touchdowns, just production from that position.
And last time out, he did it against a great Big Ten defense. 30 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the road at Michigan State. Here's 3rd and 4, and this is where Taysom Hill can be dangerous. And it's batted away at the line of scrimmage. BYU will go 3 and out. Looked like Nelson Adams may have gotten his big paw up to knock that one down.
Trying to go to Mitchell Jurgens in the slot. It was that area you could tell was going to be voided out. And Taysom Hill goes right there. Tell you what, nice job up front by Nelson Adams, the big fella, 6'3", 305, able to get a paw on it and knock it away.
Johnny Linehan, 3-time national champion rugby player for BYU from down under, will kick it away. Whoa, that's going to draw a flag. Wow. Michael Davis, the senior from Glendale, California, with no regard, taking out Fred Ross.
Well, he didn't even try to track the football and where it was going. He just beeline for Fred Ross, who's last week had some struggles in the punt return game for Mississippi State.
Kick catch interference. Offense number 15. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And this wasn't a hard one to call. You could have seen this one from the Great Salt Lake.
I mean, right into Fred Ross. You have to identify and know where the football is at all times. Tell you what, that one's just obvious for the officials.
That might be the easiest flag they throw all night.
He's their best cover corner, a guy that can shut down one side of the field. He's going to have his hands full tonight with Fred Ross, though.
Fitzgerald has overthrown 3 different receivers. Remember what the Mississippi State folks told us last week? They said this guy's a little bit different. He was an option quarterback in high school. He's almost better when he gets a little bit winded or takes a hit. Then he doesn't overthrow as many guys.
I think that's why they run him early in the ball game, to get him settled in. We talk about this every week. As quarterbacks, how do you get yourself settled in? Well, for Nick Fitzgerald, it's being hit. After he's run the football, he settles down. That's what needs to happen here. Just let him run it.
Inside handoff to Eris Williams. Gain of 5. Nick Fitzgerald hit his first 2 passes. He's only 1 for his last 5.
Well, you're back on schedule now. 3rd down and 5. The playbook still completely open. You can just about anything. You can run the football here, throw something short. You got a bunch formation down at the bottom of the screen, and outnumbered are the defenders.
Fitzgerald trying to keep it on the RPO. He dumps it off to Keith Mixon. He's got the sideline and 1 man to beat, and he's in. What a play on the ad-lib by Fitzgerald. It goes for 44 yards. How do you defend that?
It's tough when you have built-in passes at the end of it, where everybody's thinking run, you get out of position defensively, and you have an athletic quarterback like Nick Fitzgerald. This was supposed to be stopped by Michael Davis. He leaves his defender. I mean, the offensive player, and then all of a sudden, Mixon's wide open.
Weston Graves on for the point after. A 6-play, 60-yard scoring drive, helped out by multiple BYU penalties, including having 12 men on the field, which extended the possession. Hey, you remember who Dan Mullen coached at one time? Tim Tebow. This was kind of Tebow-esque on the RPO, the late pass to Mixon, and he's able to take it 44 yards to pay dirt. State in front. True Blue Foam is a long-standing homecoming tradition across the street at Helaman Field. Students slide and dive all around in the suds. Made from using blue-dyed soap, a water hose, and a fire extinguisher.
Did you and Cole make your way over there yesterday?
We did. We had some free time.
I was busy eating barbecue.
I thought you were
stuffing myself.
I thought you were buying that Jayhawk costume in the stands. BYU and the student section has been subdued by Nick Fitzgerald on that run pass option. They covered 44 yards.
Well, what a nice athletic play by Nick Fitzgerald. Just carried it out. Draws the defense to him. Nice little flip.
And what about the confidence boost for a quarterback like this?
Well, for the entire team. You have excellent field position, and then you're about to blow it a second time. Come through with one of those. That's nice.
No chance for a return for BYU. Their second possession. Taysom Hill will keep it and try to work his way on the left side of the line, and is able to pick up 5 yards. It's a dangerous combo with him and Jamal Williams.
Yeah, so good at that. I mean, he was in the spread for so long, and he's excellent at doing that. Remember, this guy was a Heisman Trophy candidate a couple of seasons ago, and then now he's kind of remade his game to fit Ty Detmer, who did win a Heisman in 1990, fit his system. Now more of a pocket passer. You turn the film on, you are impressed with Taysom Hill.
Just the 5th play of the night for BYU. And a second carry for Jamal Williams. He's able to squirt through the line to get one. Richie Brown there, coming off of a career high 14 tackles against Auburn. He's a graduate, Campbell Trophy semi-finalist, also on the Nagurski and Butkus list.
16 tackles there, career high last week, 14 against Auburn. They were playing the run game pretty well until last week against Auburn.
Cameron Petway torched him. 39 carries of 169 and 3 touchdowns.
A career day of his own. No wonder Richie Brown made so many tackles in that ball game.
They go empty here, 5 wide on 3rd and 4. 4-man rush, able to put pressure on Hill. He's able to escape, and he picks up the first down. Gain of 7 on the scramble by Taysom Hill.
And don't look for him to slide feet first much. He is well put together as a quarterback. We visited with him yesterday, and you talk about a guy that has done some work in the weight room to kind of rebuild his body. He's built now like a tank, and a guy that will take on defenders. You mentioned it earlier, the 3 season-ending injuries that he's had to bounce back from. They don't get any tougher than Taysom Hill.
He's listed at 6'2", 235. That's a big old bruise on his right bicep, by the way. It's about the size of a softball, an indicator of all the hits that he takes. He'll pull it back, try to escape trouble. His legs will provide another BYU first down. Taysom Hill doing with hustle and heart as Leo Lewis forces him out after a gain of 11.
And plays like that, your teammates feed from him. He's a 3-time team captain in 14, 15, and 16. Now watch here, push it up into the pocket. Eyes are still down, everything breaks down, but he's still able to make plays and pick up the first down and make a play with his legs to pick up the first down. How about that stiff arm? A little weight room action right there, Tom.
That's why he wears the glove. He cut the heel of his left hand, stiff-arming a Utah defender earlier in the season. And now just the 2nd carry of the night for Jamal Williams, and he's able to shove through for a gain of 8. Now BYU starting to roll a little bit with the run game.
Boy, I love watching this young man play. He plays with so much passion. A guy that can run between the tackles. He's in that spread offense for a while, but then now converting himself and his game into Ty Detmer's new pro-style offense back here in Provo. We wanted to go back to the Lavelle Edwards days offensively. Went out and hired Ty Detmer. I'll tell you what, we got it rolling.
On 2nd and 2, Hill reading that in, keeps it in a great tackle in the open field for no gain. DeAndre Ward, the senior from Wetumpka, Alabama, with the stop.
Made his first career start against UMass a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and just a dynamic edge player who splits time with JT Gray. Watch him here, doesn't get fooled, has enough athletic ability to get back outside, even giving up a little bit of leverage on the outside to make a play on Taysom Hill.
BYU has yet to put it in the air this drive. Now a 3rd and 3.
He's not afraid to throw this hitch to the wide side of the field here with the corner out there. Plenty of arm strength.
That's Nick Kurtz to the near side. Hill looking that direction. Kurtz comes back for it, sheds a defender, and he's forced out of bounds near the 27-yard line. Gain of 17. Good call, partner.
Yes, had a foot injury, hurt Kurtz did. To watch him push him off here and then come right back down the stem. The ball's right there as he comes out of his break. His timing on the part of Taysom Hill and Nick Kurtz.
He lost Cedric Giles, a corner who hadn't played all season until he returned to action last week against Auburn. And they're going to throw with Jamal Williams. The lefty will take off up the sideline. It's another version of a run-pass option for BYU.
Getting to it in a different way. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. See him here, keeps the glove on. He's looking, nothing there. Nice job of pulling it down, and you see the speed and explosiveness in which to get down the field, but nothing open downfield for him. Wants Pearson, he's not open. Don't throw it into traffic. Try to become a quarterback. Just do what you do best and run the football.
Two tight ends set here. Jamal Williams, the back, 2nd and 5.
Sherman, the fastest player on the team at the bottom.
To the end zone, incomplete, no flag. There it is. Flag came down. The coverage by Lashard Durd. He is injured in holding his left shoulder.
It's number 25. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
2:21 first quarter. Mississippi State leads BYU, but the Cougars knocking on the door behind quarterback Taysom Hill. 12th play of this drive forthcoming, and the lineup out of the eye with Jamal Williams, the tailback.
Yeah, watch the big fellow right here, number 78, Tunic Canuch. That's where they want to go with the football.
Right behind him, and Williams bounces it to the outside. He got bottled up and won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Calvin with the stop, maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, Canuch is there. He plays with excellent leverage. He's actually playing the best, in my opinion, up front for BYU. He's a load, 6'3", 335 pounds. He's got a lot of pop to his game. He'll just take and move a defender. He's got so much strength. When they want to run, it's a short yardage situation. That's where they're going, behind Canuch.
Officially, they gave him a yard, so 2nd and goal. 13th play of the drive. Hill wants to throw. Lobs it, back corner, incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd and goal. He was trying to find Moroni Pututau. Cole, what are you seeing down there?
A.J. Jefferson, one of the league leaders in tackles for loss in the nation. Number 5, actually, in tackles for loss for game. Little dip and rip right there. Comes right through the B gap, gets in Taysom Hill's face, immediately forcing that overthrow.
Told us a couple of weeks ago the up and under is his best pass rush move. Showing it there to get some pressure on Taysom Hill.
From small town Summit, Mississippi. BYU perfect on 3rd downs this drive. They've converted all 3. Algernon Brown will join Hill in the backfield. He's his lead blocker, left side. Hill hit, and he's taken down at the 1. J.T. Gray there with the stop.
Go for it here. Big, strong offensive line. You got to send a message to your football team that you believe in them. He's like one player, one tackle away from getting in the end zone. Tell you what, I think they're go for it here. And I agree with this.
They are 4 of 7 on 4th down this season. 4th and goal from just inside the 1.
How many times yesterday did Kalani Sitake talked to us about playing in the backyard? We always went for it on 4th down in the backyard.
Street lights haven't come on yet. Play action, wide open. Touchdown, BYU, Hunter Marshall.
Sold it with the play action. Excellent play fake by Taysom Hill. And Hunter Marshall in the back of the end zone, wide open. Got everybody to bite on the 2nd level. Nice little touch to the corner.
A 15-play drive that lasts 8 minutes and 25 seconds, covers 75 yards.
How about the answer to Mississippi State scoring drive? To come right back down the field and put one in the end zone of your own.
Rhett Allman drills the extra point. It's a man-sized battle tonight. BYU goes play action. They pull it back from Jamal Williams, and they find Hunter Marshall for the score. First touchdown of the season for Hunter Marshall. We got a fist fight out here tonight, don't we? No return for Mississippi State. This is exactly. Ashton Shumpert has the football for Mississippi State. Gets popped by Harvey Longy, but not before he picks up 5.
Harvey Longy moved from linebacker to defensive end. Now he's kind of made settled in nicely, rather, at that defensive end spot with this new 4-3 defense that they've installed here.
3-4, 3-3-5 under Bronco Mendenhall. 99 wins in 11 seasons as a head coach at BYU before moving on to Virginia. Shumpert hit in the backfield, dropped for a loss, and a big one. Francis Bernard takes 6 yards away from Mississippi State.
He's another one that's converted from running back to linebacker, and that's the one you don't really talk about a whole lot. Watch Bernard redirect his job of tackling one-on-one. With some opportunities like that, you have to make plays. Longy gets all the credit and a lot of the publicity, but I tell you what, Francis Bernard equally is effective.
It's a late night on the base of the Wasatch Range, and we've got a great one tonight. BYU against the SEC through 1 quarter. We're locked at 7. He's 45 away now. We come out of the break, 3rd and 11 for Mississippi State. Starting the 2nd quarter, Shumpert takes a pass, sneaks through, finds a hole, and he rustles his way down for a gain of 18.
Sometimes you just have to make a play. It's not always clean. It'll make some people miss. It's a nice job of running after the catch by Shump. More zone than I've seen him play in, and I'll bet you 3 games.
2 high safeties here. Fitzgerald goes back over the middle, and he's got Keith Mixon for a 1st down. Is that where you want to go when you see those safeties?
Absolutely. That's the weakness of the defense, right in the middle, and then the outside thirds. Nixon kind of just sliding inside, and a nice job of timing it up by Nick Fitzgerald.
BYU secondary already has 1 pick today, 11 on the season. Linebackers blitz again. Williams can't quite get past it. Fred Warner comes in to stop him after a gain of 3. Not afraid to send those linebackers up the middle.
It's like a completely different offense from a week ago. Blitz in the A-gaps and come right up the middle, as you talked about. We're able to bounce one of these and catch BYU inside. There's no leverage on the edges.
They bring 4 this time. Fitzgerald over the middle again, bobbled by Ross, and he couldn't squeeze it. One of the best wide receivers in Mississippi State history, and he's coming off of a 4-drop game against Auburn.
This is well timed, just as he comes out of the break. That's one that's got to be caught. Does a nice job of widening the corner to give himself the room necessary when he breaks inside on the slant. Just got to hold on to that one.
3rd down, 7.
Middle of the field you talk about, it's there again.
Draw planned, and those plans scuttled by Talia Uli, a loss of 4.
He is stout inside, tough to move at 6'2", 305. It's the big fella here just work. He just takes the right tackle, Justin Sr., and just pushes him right back to Nick Fitzgerald.
He got him with a hip check.
Well, that's one he might get. We'll talk about that one in the film session at Mississippi State tomorrow.
Keep the offense on the field on 4th and 11.
It's that odd front where they switch to 3 instead of 4. It's going to play the odds of zone and then rally up and make a tackle.
Fitzgerald has time. Caught for the 1st down. And Mississippi State converts it. They go right back to Ross for a gain of 14.
We talked about him having to have a big game, and here he is, having some confidence to go right back to him after he put one on the ground 2 plays earlier.
Fitzgerald stands tall again, fits it in again to Fred Ross inside the 5. 17-yard strike, first and goal State.
Well, we were talking about this before the game. Forget last week. Fred Ross will be dialed in. I'll tell you what, you see him moving him. He lines up on the right side. Now he's going up top. They move him all around. He knows all 4 wide receiver positions.
12th play of the drive. Ashton Shumpert leading the way. Fitzgerald able to pick up 2.
What it does for you is when you can execute from all over the field, makes it where a defense can't really just take you away with help to that side because they don't know where you're going to line up. But nice job with the hands there on that last play by Fred Ross.
Second in school history with 160 catches.
Get the bunch up top. Watch for an in-breaking route in this area.
Fitzgerald steps back, batted, and it falls to the turf. Saitautu was there for BYU. They're trying to go to Shumpert out of the backfield.
Yeah, went completely away from the bunch to try to take advantage of the one-on-one coverage to the right side of the screen. Make it look like a run. Catch Shumpert outflanking the defense. Just a nice job by the edge players for BYU.
Fitzgerald keeps, he's in, touchdown, Mississippi State. BYU had a 15-play drive. Mississippi State answers with a 14-play drive.
That's why it's easier from the half-inch line than it is the 2-yard line right there. You got a big 6'5" quarterback, 6'5", 230. You get his momentum going forward. That's easy work.
5:45 off the clock for Mississippi State. This is a throwback, old school, line them up and knock them down type of game. It's a 14-7 lead at the break for Mississippi State. Cougars will receive the second half kickoff. Their offense held to 126 yards in the first half. Nice bounce back performance for Mississippi State's defense. Neither quarterback setting the world on fire with their arms. Hill 5 for 12 for 45 yards and a pick. 2 others that were nearly picked. Let's go down to the field for Cole Kubelik.
Coach Mullen, describe the decision to challenge the spot early in the half.
I mean, I'm watching Jumbotron. The kid was out of bounds before where they spotted the ball. Not that, I mean, pretty simple. I'm shocked you guys didn't pick it up or they didn't buzz it, to be honest with you.
How do you feel about your defense's performance in the first half?
They were playing hard, made a couple plays right there. We're going to capitalize on interception, which is some misreads by the quarterback. But they're trying to play hard. We got to be a little bit more physical, get up the field on 3rd down.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
This is a Mississippi State team which might be going through a rebuilding year, but a strong finish to the season to have them back in a bowl. Dan Mullen knows the importance of this one tonight. After the break, Adnan and Joy back in the studio. Welcome back to Lavelle Edwards Stadium, Provo, Utah. We've got a defensive battle tonight. Mississippi State leading BYU by a touchdown at the break. Tom Hart alongside Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware. It's a great bounce-back performance for Mississippi State in the first half offensively, but they've been gift-wrapped some yardage and even you could consider some scoring opportunities by BYU's mistakes.
Yeah, I think they've controlled the line of scrimmage in this one, and which is what they didn't do a week ago against Auburn, but they're taking advantage of miscues by BYU. 12 men on the field, you see here running off the field. All of a sudden that sets up the next play. A nice pass from Fitzgerald to Keith Mixon, who takes it in for the touchdown. Then you get the offsides penalty, lining up offsides, an easy one, a gimme, puts it at point blank range, and then Nick Fitzgerald, big 6'5", 230-pound quarterback, makes it easy work.
Only 126 yards of offense for BYU in the first half. Time of possession belongs to the Cougars. Most of that coming on their touchdown drive. They had a 15-play drive that ate 7 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. So have an old school smash mouth football first half. BYU's used to playing in close games. All 3 of their losses this season have come by a combined 7 points.
Well, they got an opportunity here coming out of halftime, getting the ball first. Get this game right back on track.
Aleva Hifo and Garrett Jurgen's back to return for BYU. From the 5. Heathball gets slung to the ground. Still waiting for a record breaker. Harvey Unga, graduate assistant on the offense, former Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year, is first in BYU history in career rushing yards. Jamal Williams is right behind him now, second in BYU history, and they expect that to come tonight. He needs just 26 yards to get there. They didn't go to him very often in the first quarter.
Before I got tongue-tied earlier,
yes,
that's what I was trying to tell you. Get behind this big offensive line of BYU and let Jamal Williams go to work. He needs to play a bigger role here in the second half for BYU to get themselves going offensively.
Well, if he took it to the end zone here, he'd have the record. Williams gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's the worst starting field position of the night for BYU.
It may be easier said than done the way Mississippi State's front 7, and they talked about rotating a lot of defensive linemen in, keeping guys fresh. There's another guy last week didn't live up to expectations of A.J. Jefferson. All of a sudden in tonight's game, he's having a major effect up front.
Senior Nick James getting some snaps here in the second half. On 2nd and 10, they bring a blitz up the middle. Hill able to complete to Colby Pearson. And Pearson takes his shot, but not before he gains 17 yards. Cedric Giles the stop.
And he should have had more. You just take that one, try to split the safeties with it when you get in the middle of the field. Don't start running sideline to sideline. This is one where you take it, go right up the middle of the field, right here. And that's an additional 5 to 7 yards. But you have to cover up the football, protect it. Go ahead and try to split those safeties.
Idaho to Idaho. Blackfoot, Idaho, the hometown of Colby Pearson. Pocatello is where Taysom Hill's from. Here's Hill on play action. They're wanting to stretch it a little bit, and that pass falls incomplete. So how many yards did we have in one room yesterday? Well, we weren't able to catch the secret Heisman handshake between Ty Detmer and Andre Ware, back-to-back Heisman winners.
We were quick with that one.
Well, how about this one? Here's a surprise for you. In their Heisman seasons, my guy threw for nearly 4,746 touchdowns. Detmer outdid you, almost 5,200 yards, but you had 5 more scores than he did.
Oh, boy. Tell you what, he's a heck of a guy. Back-to-back Cougars winning Heisman. How about that one?
Indeed. Here's Canada with the carry. It was interesting, the progression of Ty Detmer's coaching career. He was at St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Austin, Texas. When he took over the program, they hadn't won a game. They won some big games against their rivals. And he said, listen, I got a point in my life where I had to kind of make a decision. Is this something I'm going to chase and accept the challenge, or I'm going to just stick and stay where I'm comfortable? Well, as soon as another former Cougar, Kalani Sitake, got the head job here, he reached out, and Ty Detmer couldn't resist the urge to come home.
A lot of people wanted Ty Detmer in coaching, and I think he's in full-time now, going forward.
3rd and 3, deep ball from Hill. Incomplete. Jonah Treneman had a step or two on Jamal Peters, who's back on the field.
He knew that deep ball was coming at some point to Treneman. He's the team's fastest, one of the fastest players on this team, and certainly a deep ball threat, but this one, you got to make that catch. You get about 3 of those in a game, and you need to hit at least 2.
Those 2 hooked up on the first play of the game against Toledo for 75 yards. And what was the first score in a shootout between the Cougars and the Rockets? Johnny Rugby will take his time. And Ross takes a fair catch at the 13-yard line, 35-yard punt from Johnny Linehan. 14-7, Mississippi State with the lead. Here's your all-access pass for the second half. When you're talking about a backstage pass, you got to talk concerts, right? Well, this is the Power of the Wasatch, the Cougar Marching Band, 225 dedicated musicians from all over the United States and the world. You'll notice that the parking lot adjacent to Lavelle Edwards Stadium is lined with football lines. So here they were at the half, getting work in as well, practicing on the asphalt, trying to keep it between the numbers. Back to football, and Eris Williams over the left side picks up 8. Francis Bernard the stop for BYU.
The way they describe him, big back that can get you some tough yards inside. He's certainly done that tonight. They're just kind of wearing down that front of BYU's.
2nd and 7. Harris Williams picks up 4. I mean, this is not how you draw.
No, this is not how you get a Gatorade bath. I mean, turned right into it.
Wow.
That's got to be cold, my friend.
Urban looks a little younger in that one, huh?
Woke him up, didn't it?
Big one with Wisconsin Saturday primetime in Madison. That's where game day is, and be some cheese curds devoured on State Street, that's for sure. 3rd and 3 here. Williams thrown for a loss in the backfield. Trajan Peely earning some playing time tonight. If BYU could score on this possession, that might be the stop of the night.
Watch the explosion by the true freshman right here. Nice job. Just kind of swimming inside, gets around Michael Story, who's in for Deion Calhoun to make this play. What, both defensive lines right now controlling this football game. It's going to come down to field position.
BYU, a nice rush on the punter, and no return from Jurgens. Great field position after that 35-yard punt. BYU will be in plus territory. Back to Provo in 60 seconds.
Like you going up to that Y.
Yes, indeed. Too tough to even tackle. Jamal Williams, no gain. Richie Brown in on the stop. You think about BYU and their fantastic quarterbacks over the years. Talk with Taysom Hill about that. You're playing quarterback at a position and an institution that has such a great history at the position, but it's even more than that, because the expectations are so high for you to be a great leader on the football field and within the community. And in terms of on the field, boy, did they have some talent at quarterback. Jim McMahon set the NCAA single-season passing record before Andre Ware broke it. Steve Young just celebrated a birthday. He was a fine player in his own right. Robbie Bosco, the year after Young left, led him to a national championship. And then that guy Detmer in 1990. We didn't even get Gifford Nielsen in there. And some others, and this one's free. Nick Kurtz down the sideline. Max Hall was a fantastic quarterback running that spread offense. I mean, I don't know anybody else. Florida's got 3 Heisman winners at the position, but I don't know overall that anybody has the depth that BYU does.
Yeah, there's some pretty impressive names there. And somebody you follow their entire life is, you know, they go through their careers, but this is a great tradition of signal callers in this program.
Here's Jamal Williams, and Williams fighting his way free. I mean, you got guys like Steve Sarkisian that even make the list. Gain of 8.
Well, this is a guy here, Jamal Williams, just stay with it. You don't have to have a heavy diet of it, but you have to stay with the running game. Eventually, he's going to pop one. A lot of small 4- and 5-yarders, but the big ones will come eventually for him because he's just too talented.
He's 13 yards away from the BYU all-time record. Long pass from Hill. Shake move by Pearson. And he wiggles his way to a first down. Cedric Giles with the coverage.
Love to see these receivers just catch it and get vertical. Don't try to shake, don't try to outrun defenders. Just get what you can get and then go ahead and get down. They're actually leaving yards on the table.
Here's Williams with the right side. Let me take you back to Mississippi State's possession and that big tackle by Trajan Peely that snuffed out Mississippi State's possession, forced the punt, short field, and now BYU knocking on the door with a chance to tie this thing up.
It felt like it was going to come down to field position and who turns it over least in the second half here.
BYU hasn't won a game all year that they've turned it over. Hill slides, took a shot, there's a flag. That'll move him closer, and they'll have first and goal. Jonathan Calvin drew the flag, we believe.
And it's going to be a face mask right at the end of this run by Taysom Hill. See him here sliding feet first, giving himself
Personal
up.
foul.
There it is.
Face mask. Defense, number 16. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Turned him into Linda Blair.
Watching. That's appropriate in the month of October. Halloween right around the corner. You see him right here. Almost takes the helmet off. Keep an eye on 44.
They've loaded up the backfield. Williams lowers his shoulder, gets stood up. No gain. Leo Lewis, the freshman, first man there.
It's Quinn Ficklin, who usually wears 55, but they'll bring him in and put him in jersey number 44. Had a big third down catch last week against Michigan State, where he actually knew where the down and distance marker was, and then had the presence in mind to kind of stick the football out there to make sure he got it. But they will sneak him out of the backfield, and they are not afraid to throw him the football.
Remember, they went play action on the goal line for the last touchdown.
He's a little tight here to get himself out.
Play action in the boot. Hill, stiff arm, taken down in the open field. Des Harris with the stop. It's a loss of 7.
What a tackle. You are one-on-one. Watch 46 right here in the end man
End of
line
the
of
third
scrimmage
quarter.
get up the field and not lose outside contain. Just goes down inside a couple of steps, but you are facing one of the strongest players pound for pound in this BYU program, and you're able to bring down Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill exposed on the naked boot. We go to the fourth quarter.
What do you do now if you're BYU? Well, Tuni Kanuch, put him in the ball game. I go right back to Jamal Williams in this instance. We were down close. I would have gone there and just let him try it over the top.
So they go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and goal from about the 9-yard line. Hill rolling, looking, fires, touchdown, flag down. Jamal Williams with the catch, and this may be holding on BYU.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Tuni Kanuch, the junior from South Jordan, Utah.
Yeah, not his strong suit in terms of pass protection. He's an excellent run blocker, which is why he splits time at that spot. But working against Corey Thomas, you'll see it right there at the end of it. Held him about 3 times. He got away with the other 2. That last one just kind of forced the officials to make the call.
3rd and goal again.
This is where if you're Mississippi State, stay away from the penalties. Force the field goal attempt here.
Parker Dahl, the new right guard. Big block, shot to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown BYU! Moroni Pututau and another flag down. This one in the end zone. There's a pair of them there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1 on the offense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
Second touchdown grabber of the season for Moroni Laulu Pututau.
See him here, nice job of buying just a split second and where that ball's thrown. Right in the middle of the field between 2 defenders. Jamal Peters closing from inside out.
Extra point is good. They switched kickers. Andrew Mickelson with the extra point to tie it up. We got a ball game. Late night, Friday night in Provo, Utah. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, and we are all tied up. Let's review our where to watch. How's this playing out for you tonight?
Yeah, it's playing out just perfectly. Get the ball to De'Aaron Mixon. Mixon with a 44-yard touchdown reception. They wanted to reestablish physical play. Mississippi State, their defense, 5 TFLs, tackles for losses. And BYU, they wanted to feed Jamal Williams. 21 rushes, 54 yards, and minimize Fitzgerald's rushing yards, only 19, but he did have the touchdown. Williams averaging 2.6 yards per carry. I would say Mississippi State doing a heck of a job up front.
Corey Edwards to put it in the air. Grandnephew of LaVell Edwards, the Hall of Famer, led him to a 1984 national title. After the penalty, it'll be great field position on the kick to Mississippi State, and Malik Deer gets swallowed at the 30-yard line. Most reliable receiver is Ross. He's in the slot near side. BYU brings 5. Fitzgerald moving the pocket. And we'll flick that one to the Mississippi State sideline.
Well, excellent coverage on the back end, and Gerald continuing to show the mobility to just extend the play, hoping to get somebody open on the back end. What's the coverage here? Just locked up. Fred Ross with Michael Davis. Nowhere to go with the football.
That can't be right to have two receivers in the same spot.
Busted route there. And Gabe Miles and Fred Ross. That makes it easy to cover, though.
Yes, it does. Ross and Mixon top of the formation. Fitzgerald looking that way. Goes deep down the sideline. Incomplete. Trying to find Keith Mixon. Coverage on the back end by Diane Lake, who had a pick against Toledo and a career-high 9 tackles.
It's Lake here trying to get it, climb the ladder and make a play. Ball just got there a little too fast.
The receiver was out of bounds. You saw the side judge's hat on the apron, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. 3rd and 10 now.
Another situation where it's 3rd and long, unable to get off earlier. See if they can do it here.
In zone again. Fitzgerald pumps, lets it fly. Incomplete. Coverage on the back end by Micah Hanneman. We got a flag down for Rod Green, the tight end, the intended receiver. They'll drop the flag at the 44-yard line.
Pass interference, defense, number 13. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
That's Francis Bernard, the linebacker. You mentioned before that you're surprised the amount of zone that BYU is playing tonight. How big an adjustment has it been for Mississippi State to get used to it if they haven't seen it on film?
Well, if it doesn't matter, if you don't have to see it from BYU as long as you've seen it somewhere during the season to adjust it. Doesn't take long for Dan Mullen, who's the play caller, to get himself adjusted to help out Nick Fitzgerald. Zone is zone. It's one of the things you put in the first week or so of training camp.
Keith Mixon on the counter pitch. Gets spread out, still gets upfield and gets popped out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Let's take you back 2 plays ago. They announced 13. It should have been number 7, Micah Hanneman, we believe, who should have gotten flagged for the PI.
That's right there. The right hand just a little bit early on Green to turn his body.
It's a big body to get around at 6'3", 232.
It's been predominantly zone coverage. You see it again right here. Corners peeking inside.
They show a blitz. Fitzgerald fires to the edge, and he's got Malik Deer, who has the first down. Michael Davis with the coverage, gain of 12.
Hard to bring down. 5'9", 220 pounds. Can't get under him because he's built so low to the ground, and he's with a lot of power at that slot position. Almost a slot / running back.
Here's Malik Deer. You know, as we get into under 5 minutes to play in a tie game, it's worth mentioning that both kickers have struggled tonight for each side. In fact, BYU pulled its kicker, and they went to Andrew Mickelson on that last extra point. And we know, we've documented the struggles of Weston Graves, who's missed 2 key kicks over the course of the season, including a would-be game winner in the opener against South Alabama and one on the opening drive from 26 yards last week against Auburn. Mississippi State turns to Eris Williams, and that spot's going to be just short. So now what's going through the head of Weston Graves, the loneliest man in the stadium, and who's perhaps getting ready for a game winner?
I said earlier, that's a lonely spot, but you're just hoping to hit one clean. Like a golfer that can't get rid of the hooks. He's got them in his golf game or in his leg right now, and he's just hoping to hit one clean where it goes straight if they give him the opportunity.
3rd down 1. Williams hit, dropped. Butch Powell there with the stop. And Dan Mullen's got a decision to make. 4th and 2.
See here, they get tremendous penetration. It allows Powell to get right through to the legs of Williams.
Ansem Tanielu, the first man there at 6'2", 318. The offense stays on the field for Mississippi State.
I agree with the call here by Dan Mullen. You're trying to instill some confidence in your football team, not only for tonight, but going forward.
Graves has hit a 48-yarder this season. That's where the kick would be from here. 4th and 2. Fitzgerald slipped on the turf, fails to pick it up. It was right in front of him.
Had what you wanted. Linebackers are flowing with a jet sweep motion. And you've got exactly what you want if you're Nick Fitzgerald. They go outside up the field. He's going to easily pick up the first down here. Longy goes out wide. That opens it up for him to at least get to the first down marker and just stumbles over his own feet.
And so the drama builds. 3:05 remaining. All 3 timeouts there for BYU. Mississippi State has had 3 second-half possessions in BYU territory. They've come away with 0 points. Jamal Williams, no. This is Taysom Hill.
Now, it's not a rush with all 3 timeouts. You got a lot of time here. You want to make sure that when you do get yourself in a position to score, leave Mississippi State with very much on the clock.
Tuni Kanuchu's back in at right guard. He had been pulled for Parker Daw after a key penalty earlier in the 4th quarter. Bulldogs show blitz. They bring an extra man. Taysom Hill escapes the pocket, gets taken down on a side shot, and he's able to pick up 3. Trevor Jung with the tackle. Cole?
Peter Sermon bringing the blitz off the edge there. What that did was gave A.J. Jefferson, number 47 from Mississippi State, a one-on-one with the left guard. Nice swim move, brought the pressure.
He's got a variety of pass rush moves. He's up and under, which is his favorite. There, swimming. The guard, watch here. Nice job with the swim move, quick with it. It's a hand on Taysom Hill to force him out of the pocket.
Hill on 3rd and 6. Incomplete. Colby Pearson was right there.
And that's one where at this point, this juncture in the game, you have to come away with a play for your quarterback. Going to be under duress, thrown to the outside. He can't throw it to the number of Colby Pearson because it may get tipped from inside out.
Number 31, Johnny Linehan on the punt.
Should have been a catch.
So Johnny Linehan to punt it away. 1:34 remaining. Mississippi State trying to get after it. And Linehan sends a line drive to Fred Ross at the 20. 45-yard punt from Linehan. 1:27 remaining in regulation from LaVell Edwards Stadium. We are tied at 14 late in the 4th quarter. Fitzgerald over the middle for a first down. Pardon me, shy of the first down. And it's a gain of 7 to Keith Mixon. 1:15 and rolling. 2 timeouts left for Mississippi State.
Speed things up now.
Harris Williams, nope, Fitzgerald kept that. And Sai Tautu with the stop. Francis Bernard there with them. And, well, that was a huge stop for BYU because that brings up 3rd down now. And the Cougars have all 3 timeouts left.
Ball security is a premium right now. You can't turn it over. You're Nick Fitzgerald. It would put BYU maybe a play or 2 within field goal range.
Fitzgerald only converts 46% of his passes on 3rd down. That's 3rd worst in the SEC. 35 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Dan Mullen might be playing for overtime here.
It looks like it because he's in no hurry, that's for sure.
They keep it on the ground. Williams tripped up, can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Timeout taken by BYU.
And Tom, I'm surprised that BYU didn't take the timeout after 2nd down.
They had 3 of them. BYU looking for a return from Garrett Jurgens. This was a great punt, and he'll have to take a fair catch at the 24-yard line. BYU's going to try to make something happen. Hill scrambles, and a one-handed grab on the sideline. The officials say yes.
And this puts it in Taysom Hill's range in terms of being able to launch a Hail Mary.
No, now they say incomplete.
I think that's a catch.
Moroni Laula Pututau had a big one earlier. Would be a 21-yard gain if it stands.
Pass. Second down.
Foot down. Does he have control?
No doubt about it. That's a catch.
The ruling is that the receiver had control of the football with 1 foot down. The ball will be placed at the 43-yard line. First down.
Pututau, who's 6'4". You got a bunch of tall receivers. You just need time.
Can he get it there?
I think he can. He's a strong, strong kid.
They wanted a Hail Mary last year at Nebraska. Can Taysom Hill pull it off this time? Clock will run out. Hill trying to scramble, doing his best. Steve Young, and he loses a football. Mississippi State can't advance it. A.J. Jefferson with the recovery. Take a deep breath. We're going to overtime. Every BYU fan in Lavelle Edwards Stadium has to remove their heart from their throats. Whew. Tied at 14. And we are headed to overtime. Empty backfield for Nick Fitzgerald. Ross can throw it, goes right back to Fitzgerald, who's got the sideline. Fitzgerald stopped a gain of 9.5. They put that play in a few weeks ago. Ross says, I like this play better because it's easier for me to throw with my gloves on back to Fitzgerald. Does Mississippi State draw up on 2nd and short? You take a shot?
I'm going to go to Darius Williams to pick up the first down here.
Travis Tuiloma replaces Taliauli on that defensive line. Fitzgerald keeps it. Was the ball stretched past the line to gain when he was forced out of bounds?
I don't think so. Kind of cool. He is a good football player. 6'2", 215 pounds. Watch him close from the secondary and then making sure that Nick Fitzgerald doesn't get any more progress.
Fitzgerald looks, fires, end zone, incomplete. Michael Davis the coverage, a yellow hanky on the field. Donald Gray, the intended receiver.
Pretty good coverage by Davis. Intended pass for Gray.
Defense, number 15. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
That is the second pass interference penalty against BYU tonight.
Gray's second on the team in receiving yards. You see here. So we're seeing that Davis got there just a tad bit early. They did. Oh, that's so close.
Michael Davis, converted wide receiver, the senior from Glendale, California. Ball just outside the 2 for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Ross in motion. Fitzgerald rides and fires, batted away, incomplete, and that's going to set up 2nd and goal. Fred Warner got his hands on it.
Just a lot of players. This BYU defense making plays. See Warner here, just times it just right.
Warner back in action. He didn't play last week in East Lansing. Was out with a hamstring injury. Had a career high 14 tackles against West Virginia. That game at FedEx Field. Trips to the left. Ross, the lone receiver, to the right. He's matched up with Diane Lake.
That's where you go with the football.
Fitzgerald looking left the whole time. Now trying to find Ross. He'll scramble. Gets out of one guy. Leaps. He is in. Touchdown, Mississippi State and Nick Fitzgerald.
Oh, what an athletic play by Nick Fitzgerald, able to escape outside. Harvey Longy misses a tackle and Fitzgerald goes airborne. just lays it on the line for his football team.
Andre, big extra point for Weston Graves.
Oh, yeah, you think there are a few butterflies in the pit of his stomach right now? This is huge.
It's been an adventure. Whew. Graves able to punch it in. Dan Mullen can afford a smile. He said, we need one stop, Richie Brown. One stop, and we're leaving Provo with a win.
Watch the pressure by Longy there, and then Oz just find a way in. Leaps over Fred Warner, a linebacker, on his way into the end zone. This is outstanding work. A few people around the country will see that over the weekend. It's a heck of a play. A lot of plays left in this game.
And the first play of overtime for BYU goes to Jamal Williams. I've been really surprised.
Yeah.
There have been times they've gotten away from the best back perhaps in college football. And with that run, Jamal Williams now holds the all-time career rushing record, knocking off Harvey Unga from the top of the list, but still more football to play.
Yeah, he'll trade it for a win, or at least to get in the end zone to force this into double overtime.
Williams picks up one needed for the first down.
Todd Detmer told me, he says he's not a guy that, you know, bangs his chest very much, but you kind of know when you get a sense of when to go to him. Game's on the line. He knows when to step up, when to kind of point to the coaches and say, hey, go ahead and call my number. I'm here if you need me. And this is a time in the ball game when you need Jamal Williams to produce.
A new school record, 3,461 career rush yards. If he stays on pace this season, he'll also have a new single season record. They go play action. Hill has the ball stripped away, scooped up by BYU and Tanner Baldery. And Baldery able to advance it inside the 10. It's a gain of 6.
Wow. On 2 occasions, Taysom Hill has lost the football. Been able to, I mean, that's just great work there by A.J. Jefferson to knock it out. But Baldery right there, Johnny on the spot to come up with this, and not only to recover it, but to advance it and pick up some yards.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good. He was only there because Marquise Spencer threw him 10 yards backwards. Second down. That'll be a first down run for Jamal Williams. He was following the fullback Algernon Brown. First and goal, BYU. They're going to throw. Fade route, end zone, incomplete. They're trying to go to Nick Kurtz, who was covered by Cedric Giles, waving to the Lavelle Edwards Stadium crowd.
The crowd doesn't like it. They want to see what the ball in the hands of Jamal Williams, and I can't say I disagree. You got the one-on-one coverage, the 6'6" Kurtz. Excellent coverage on that end with Cedric Giles.
2 tight ends to the right side, back to the I formation. Jamal Williams. A great penetration by Mississippi State. Jeffrey Simmons in on the tackle, but A.J. Jefferson nearly took the handoff. Third and goal from the 1.
Tell you what, nice block inside by Tuni Canucci. Right back to that right side. It takes 2 of them. Give it to him twice going right.
Third and goal. Quarterback keeper, and on the sneak, Taysom Hill is in. Touchdown, BYU. Talk about breaking your tendencies. They didn't go to Williams once.
Watch the hole right here, right over the center. I mean, and then they just crash everything down. Nice block by Canucci. They crash it down even more, and it's just wide open for Taysom Hill to run the quarterback sneak in for the touchdown.
And it just sneaks in the right upright. You didn't think this game was going to end on a missed extra point, did you?
Nah, of course not.
We are tied at 21 as we head to overtime number 2. Both quarterbacks taking over this game late. Nick Fitzgerald goes airborne. And then after that, Taysom Hill with a quarterback sneak. Overtime number 2 next. Go wake up your roommate, call your buddy. We're going to overtime number 2 tonight. Late night in Provo, Utah, Mississippi State and BYU. Locked at 21.
Let's just see who's standing the longest. Well, he got exactly what he signed up for.
On play action, Hill able to find his tight end, Tanner Baldery. Baldery all the way to the goal line and in. First play, overtime number 2. In overtime number 1, it was right place, right time for Baldery. This time they call his number, and his first catch of the game gives BYU its first lead of the game. Back to Rhett Allman for the point after. Second different kicker they've used tonight, and Allman puts it through. Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, nice job by Taysom Hill to draw the defense to him. That opened it up for Tanner Baldery right here. Nice job. You know you're going to take a hit, but just throw a catchable ball, and then the big fella in the open field. Nice show us some speed at the end of this run. But you'll see him here just invite the defense. Brandon Bryant, the safety, right into his lap, flips a nice pass to Baldery.
Jamal Williams' most effective role tonight has been that of decoy.
And it's worked. We thought he was getting the football down on the goal line the last possession of the first overtime, and Taysom Hill went in.
Mississippi State's turn. Fitzgerald goes in zone, first play. Go! Incomplete. Fred Ross had it for a split second.
Oh, what a throw by Fitzgerald. Wins with the throw, you just have to finish. Pulls the arms just a little bit too quickly. Right there, that should have been 6.
Harris Williams, big time run on second down, and that's going to set up 3rd and short. 21st carry of the night for Williams, a heavy load. He's covered 82 yards. Under center, quarterback sneak. He bounced it to the outside, and he's able to pick up 3. Francis Bernard to stop.
Just a quick snap. Mentioned it, the least amount of ball handling in a short yardage situation. Got a big, strong quarterback in Fitzgerald. Just let him do the work for you.
That was the 15th tackle of the night for Bernard.
Slot wide open.
4-man rush. Fitzgerald pressured, and he gets swallowed up by Sire Tatu. A loss of 5.
That's where he can continue to develop, and knowing pre-snap read what gives me the best option to get the ball out of my hands quickly. Watch the slot receiver. I think it's Keith Mixon. He's wide open off the snap of the ball. That ball should have been thrown, should have been out of there. But the inexperience of Nick Fitzgerald just kind of reared its head right there.
Second sack for Cy Tautu tonight. 2nd and 15. Cougars bring a blitz. Fitzgerald gets hit as he lets it go. End zone tipped, incomplete.
He's late with it again, and Keith Mixon comes off the line of scrimmage wanting the football. Linebacker goes inside Fred Warner, and Mixon's open underneath. and would have at least gotten you the first down with just giving him the ball going up the field.
Option. Here's Mixon. And he's shoved out of bounds by Saital. It's a gain of 6. 4th down, forthcoming, and the game on the line for Mississippi State.
Well, here it is. All boils down. Do we continue playing? If Mississippi State picks it up here. If not, it's Katie bar the door.
Fitzgerald pressured, rolls, lets it go, end zone. BYU survives. Fred Warner in the middle of it again. And Kalani Sitake and BYU will celebrate a homecoming double overtime victory. Kalani Sitake said he wanted his team to have fun. Everybody's having fun in Provo tonight. Tough angle for Fitzgerald, going for broke on 4th.
Yeah, just trying to throw it back in the middle of the field, hoping that somebody can make a play, but Ford right there to knock it away. Fred Warner, the linebacker there, to just knock the football away.
Pure joy for Kalani Sitake.
Well, they just kind of stayed the course in this one. Knew it was going to be a tough battle against a quality opponent in Mississippi State. And made some plays in the end that won them the football game.
BYU did not lead until overtime number 2. When Tanner Baldry took the first play of the second overtime in from 25 yards out. Once again, our final in 2 overtimes. It's BYU 28, Mississippi State 21. Coming up next, Kevin Connors and Nicole Briscoe back in the studio. Sports Center next after this thriller from Provo. Enjoy your Saturday, everybody.